right, welcome back. It is Tuesday. That means we're whipping up something delicious with Mariefiebach with Feed Your Family Tonight. What are we making today?
Today we are making chocolate chip meringue cookies. This is a recipe that you can't make in the dead of summer because it's too humid, but now that it's cooling down just a little bit, this is one of my favorite recipes. It is gluten-free and dairy-free, just naturally, as long as you use dairy-free chocolate chips. And it starts with 3 egg whites, which I have here in the bowl, and I'm gonna add a ½ teaspoon of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is an acid, and it helps the egg whites maintain their structure. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna whip these egg whites and slowly add sugar. I'm gonna kind of get started here. And when you whip the egg whites, once they start getting foamy like this, you add the sugar just a little bit at a time and do it really slowly, because if you do it too fast, if you add the sugar too fast, it won't dissolve. And so this is 1 cup of sugar with a ½ teaspoon of cream of tartar and 3 egg whites. Now I have some over here that I've already whipped up because it takes about 10 to 12 minutes to get these whipped to where you want them.
And it can go really, really whipped too, so it can get a little out of control. So at what point do you know when it's foamy enough?
So you know it's foamy enough when you make a stiff peak. And so you can see that I'm pulling this up and the peaks are kind of just barely folding over, but they're holding up. That is like the texture of marshmallow cream, and it kind of looks like marshmallow cream. Then you're gonna add 1 cup of chocolate chips, and you're going to gently fold them in with a large spatula and put them on a baking sheet. Now I want to warn you, do not make these too big. If you make them too big, they will not cook well. You want to make sure that you make them kind of small. I like this little, like almost 2 tablespoon scoop, and you just scoop them out. If your scoop gets sticky, keep a jar of water close by, dip it in the water, and shake it off. A couple drops of water on the outside isn't gonna hurt anything. You're gonna put these in an oven at 225 degrees for 1.5 hours, and then turn the oven off and leave them in there for another 1.5 hours so that they can slowly cool and dry off. And you end up with this crispy, crunchy cookie that will melt in your mouth, and they're, again, one of my favorites, especially if you have a play date with kids or something that you know someone's gluten-free. These are naturally gluten-free. They're super easy to make.
Cool. And it's weird because when those egg whites get so light and fluffy, but you add the sugar, it's really a pretty viscous texture kind of it. So it's kind of interesting how the sugar makes that happen.
Adding the sugar is going to make it glossy. It's going to make it hold together more, and they will puff up in the oven as you make them. And you want to eat them pretty quickly. They're only going to last a couple of days in an airtight container. Otherwise, they'll start to get a little weepy. And you just want to make sure that you cook them low and slow and let them gently cool off. What do you think?
That's unlike anything I've ever tasted, literally. The texture is amazing. Of course, the flavor is amazing because there's so much sugar in it. And I mean, honestly, and then the chocolate chips in there too. That is so good. Anything white and creamy, we know, Allison, I'm deathly afraid of. Sour cream, ranch dressing, mayonnaise. But of course, the caveat is when you have sugar in it, it's all fair game, and you've done a great job.
This might be wishful thinking, and he just mentioned all the sugar, but are these better for someone trying to be a little bit more health conscious?
I mean, there's a lot of sugar in them. I'm not going to say that they're healthy. If you were onto the fat-free craze, they're pretty close to fat-free, especially if you don't want the chocolate chips. You can make them without the chocolate chips. You can also add nuts to them. I really like them with pecans, but my kids get a little picky and they prefer just the straight chocolate chips. But you can put in nuts, you can put in craisins, you could put in, you know, white chocolate chips.
All kinds of
Once
stuff.
you have this base, you can do all sorts of things.
Yeah,
Tell us
very
where
versatile.
we can find this recipe.
This recipe is feedyourfamilytonight.com. It's up on the website right now. I looked at it this morning. It's not in my cookbook, but it's getting to be fall, and there's lots of fun fall recipes in my cookbook, soups and stews and chilies, which we're kind of aching for right now. That's available at feedyourfamilytonight.com, at Watermark Books and Cafe, or on Amazon Kindle if you're a e-reader.
All right, and we'll make sure this video is up there as well, and you can check out Feed Your Family Tonight's Facebook page. We'll be right back.